I'm crooked. Good morning, everyone. I'm maybe just a few seconds, a little bit late coming on, but I'm here. I hope that you're able to join me today. It looks like my camera is a little bit crooked, and I don't know what is going on with that. Maybe that's a little better. Let me go ahead and bring you up on my iPad here so I can watch the comments. Okay. Good morning, Sharon. Glad you're on. Like I said, my name is Debbie Foster. I'm creating with Debbie, and I'm located in Bismarck, Arkansas. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. And we're going to be doing 3 cards today. I ought to be doing some more Mother's Day because Mother's Day is so close, but I didn't. But you could change the sentiments on each of them to be Happy Mother's Day if you'd like. Let me go ahead and turn you around. Good morning, Deborah. Be sure you all share the video also and like it. That increases my viewers, so I'd appreciate that. So let me go ahead and turn you around here. Oops, that's really crooked. What is going on with my phone today? I'm unplugging everything. Hold on a second. Gotta keep my phone plugged in so we don't lose it. And let me make sure that we got a good view. I'm going to zoom it in a little bit more. Let's see how that does. Okay, let's give it a moment. My iPad is a little bit slow. New mat. Well, we had gotten these from Onstage a few months ago, and I had a couple to use up, and I'm running out of the other ones I need to reorder, so I thought we'd go with a different color today. I like the blue. Hi, Jackie. Glad you could join. Be sure to share this with your friends and family too. Maybe we'll get some more scrap or card makers and such. Okay, I think that's pretty good right there. Okay, so I gotta go through my little spew this morning, so bear with me. I know you've heard it 1,000 times, but I'm creating with Debbie on Facebook, and you can shop with me at www.debbiefoster.stampinup.net. And my email address, if you'd like to email me, is creatingwithdebbie179@gmail.com. And my blog is www.creatingwithdebbie179.blogspot.com. And you can go on there and you'll get all the instructions for all the cards that we make. I've got to take off my bracelet, it's bugging me. Besides, it's going to be a little bit noisy, I think. Okay, and the host code this month is JDK3DBGR, and use that host code if your order is under $150. If it's over $150, don't use it because you'll get the rewards, and I want you to have those. Okay, and we've got Paper Pumpkin, which is going until May 10th to sign up for it. It's called Batter Up. And you have until May 10th, like I said, to sign up. It's send a 7th inning stretch in a classic card with all-star stripes, a nostalgic nod, and a stamp set fit for an MVP. There's no better way to root for your home team. Step up to the plate for the people who'll always go to bat for you with the Batter Up Paper Pumpkin Kit. And the kit contains enough supplies to create 9 cards and coordinating envelopes. It offers a timeless throwback touch with classic colors, pinwheel and pinstripe patterns, and vintage washed paper pieces. It also comes with a ballpark favorite, bubblegum, so you can chew while you craft or slide into a card. Includes an exclusive stamp set and classic Stampin' Spot. And with the paper pumpkin kits, you get everything is included. All you'll need to supply would be your scissors and maybe liquid adhesive if you like. So if you have any questions on that, just get with me and I'll help you. Okay, so we've got 3 cards we're going to do today. Let me get everything out here. We're going to be using our Stamparatus for one. And let me make some noise here. This is the card that we're going to be doing. Let me make sure that it's in view. And I'm using the Hey Birthday Chick stamp set. Let me move this out of the way for a minute so we can squeeze everything in here. So it's a stamp set and the Birthday Chick dies. Mine are kind of messed up. They don't stick anymore. I need to put them on a magnet, I guess. So Hey Birthday Chick and the dies are going to be carrying over to the new catalog, which comes out May 4th. So I'm all excited about that. Let me show that new catalog. I can show you the cover, but I can't show you the inside yet. So here it is. And I can show you the new colors. We've got polished pink, soft succulent, pale papaya, evening evergreen, and fresh freesia. I'm just making sure that they're showing on the camera. Yeah. So we had to say goodbye to our in colors from 2019 to 2021. But I think I'm liking these. They're very pretty. The evening evergreen is a real dark green, which I kind of like that because we don't have any dark greens really. Pretty Peacock, I guess, was one that might have been close to that, but that's retired, so. Very pretty. And be sure that you order everything out of the old annual catalog by May 3rd because things are retiring and are not returning, so, and they're all available as long as the supplies last, so you might want to jump on that this week if there's anything that you're missing. But our mini JJ catalog is going to go until June 30th, so we have a little time with that one yet. And like I said, the Hey Birthday Chick is carrying over. The Hey Chick stamp set and dies are not, so I'm kind of sad about that because I like those two because they kind of go together. But we'll get over it. So here's our card that we're going to make, our first one. And I made this a happy birthday, but like I said, you could switch it out to Happy Mother's Day. What mother wouldn't like to have one of these? It's cute. Okay, it says, happy birthday. You're still a spring chicken. So that's really cute. I like that. So let's go ahead and we'll get started. I'll get out all my bits and pieces here. Make some noise with the crinkling paper. Let me set that aside. Alright, and I need my instructions to know what my dimensions are. And we don't very often use a black card base, but that's what we're going to do today. And this measures 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches and scored in the middle at 4 1/4 inches. So we're just going to burnish that edge real good. And we'll set that aside for a moment. And we have Mary Merlot cardstock, which measures 4 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches. And then for the inside, I've got a crumb cake, which measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. So we're just going to set the inside aside for now. And then we've got another piece of the crumb cake that we're going to be stamping on, which measures 3 3/4 inches by 5 1/8 inches. So we're going to go ahead and stamp our it's called All Wired Up. And this is another one that's being retired, so I'm going to miss this one too because it goes with the chicken so well. But we're going to use that, and I've already placed that on my Stamparatus. So, get the case back over here to put that on. And I need to turn this around. And this has a mat in here that you use for the photopolymer stamps. So we're not going to use that. We're going to take that out. And for the rubber stamps, you don't need it. So I'm going to place my cardstock down here. But first I'm going to put some Stampin' Seal on the back side so it'll stay in place for me. And I'm just going to line this up with my already stamped on the inside. And we're going to use early espresso ink to ink this up. Oops, I need to put my... It helps if you put a stamp case underneath it to ink it up with. It kind of keeps it more level and keeps it from bouncing around on you. We're going to ink that all up. And then we're going to press it down. I usually have long sleeves on so I can kind of slide back and forth, but I'm going to use my cloth here and kind of rub that, get the ink to go on there evenly. And it's missed a few spots, so we're going to come back in and we're going to stamp it, ink it up again. That's the glory of the Stamparatus. If it doesn't give you a good impression, you can go back and have a second try or second or third try with it until you get it looking like you want it to be. And I'm going to use this cloth again to rub it. Put a little pressure on it. Not a lot, but some. And I got one spot in the middle that's not inking up right. So we're going to do it again until we get it right. I maybe need to add more ink to my stamp pad. Maybe that's what's going on. I don't think I've re-inked this one at all. So it might be time to do that. Hope everybody's having a good day today. We got beautiful sunshine. It's supposed to be nice today. Okay, I'm not going to worry about that one little spot there because we're going to be covering that up anyway. And it looks like my paper might have moved a little bit, but we're going to go with it. I think this part slid on me. Okay, so we're going to throw that one away because it's pretty well used up. And we'll set our Stamparatus aside. I'm going to put that aside. Oops. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and glue this to our first mat here. And we're going to glue that onto our card base. I'm just going to have a small, tiny border going around it. And I need to get my lighting over here better. There, that's better. Now I can see. I moved it out when I was doing the face-to-face. Hi, Marlene. Glad you could join me. Marlene is my cousin. She lives up north of us. Alright, and then we're going to place that on top in the middle. Keep a small border going around it. Alright, so there we have that. Don't worry about this spot because we're going to be covering that with a tag. And what did I do with my tags? Alright, I need to cut some tags out. So we're going to get our little baby boss. And I need to get my paper. I thought I had that done already. I didn't. Hold on a second. I'm coming right back. I know I cut them out. I don't know what I did with them. Oh, there they are. Never mind. We got it. It was hiding under my directions. I thought I had cut them out. So we're not needing the baby boss just yet. So we'll be using her on another project here. So anyway, I've cut these out already. One with the Mary Merlot and one with the crumb cake. And I'm using the stitch nested labels. And these are another one that's retiring. I'm using, I think it's like the number 2 and number 3 size. The bigger one for the Mary Merlot and then the smaller one for the crumb cake. So we'll set those aside. Let me put them back in here so I don't lose them. That does happen. Alright. So I'm going to glue these two together. And then we'll do some stamping and a little bit of coloring with our blends. Alright, so we'll set that aside for a moment. And then we're going to stamp our little chick here. We're using, she looks like she's dancing or jumping up and down. She's happy. And we're just going to stamp her using our black Memento ink. Did everybody have a good weekend? Ours was good. No complaints. Alright, so set that aside. We're going to come in with our blends. Let me go ahead and stamp the sentiment while I've got the ink out. I did some pieces here. They're spread all over the place. For our sentiment, we're going to do a strip of black paper, which is 5/8 inches by 3 3/4 inches. And we're going to stamp on the white strip, which is 1/2 inch by 3 5/8 inches. And we're going to stamp our happy birthday on there. Let's see if I can get it straight. Let me pull it down here. Yeah, pretty good. Alright, now we can put our ink aside. It came out really good. I guess I could go ahead and glue that down to the black strip here so I don't lose it. I'll set it down and never to be found again. Oops, it's kind of slipping and sliding there. There we go. I got some glue in my fingers. That's a normal thing. Okay, for the chick, I'm going to use my blends, which I've got the light and dark smoky slate, the dark real red, the light pumpkin pie. So we're going to do the chick starting out with the dark smoky slate. I'm going to put some paper underneath me in case it bleeds through. Kind of keep my mat a little bit cleaner. Maybe I can use it more than once. And I'm just going to do some shading here where the stamp is done. So That didn't sound like very good English. I hope you understood what I was saying. Where the lines from the stamping is, I'm doing the highlighting. And I'm going to do her little wings the same with the dark. Looks like a hair on there, fuzz or something, maybe a little bitty dog hair or something. Okay. And then we're going to use the light to color her in. It's pretty quiet this morning. We've had some construction on our interstate, and so they've been detouring all the trucks going by our house for, I don't know, a week or so. Sometimes it gets kind of noisy, all the rumbling. So I'm glad that it's quiet right now. They're saying the construction's going to last until June 30th, so I hope not. We live in the country. We're not used to all that traffic. Everybody's quiet this morning. Did anybody do anything exciting over the weekend? I know with the COVID restrictions being lifted a little bit, it's making us kind of feel more like a little bit of normalcy. Okay, so we got her body covered. And now we're going to come back in and we're going to do her beak using the light pumpkin pie. And then we'll do her wattle using the dark real red. And her crown, I guess that's a crown at the top of her head. I think that's what it's called. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yes, it is Jackie. Oh, okay. I'm thinking that must be Odell that's saying hello, mother-in-law. Hello. You kind of threw me off there for a minute. Okay, so now we're going to bring our Miss Baby Boss in and we're going to die cut our chicken, our very happy dancing chicken, out. And with the Baby Boss, we've got plate 1, and then we have 2 plate 2s for cutting. So, where did I put the dies? There they are. Get my die out here and cut her out. So we're going to place our die on there and make sure that it's on there straight. I'm kind of sitting at an angle here, so it's kind of hard for me to see it. And it's moving on me a little bit, but whoops. I think I'm going to do some washi tape and make that sit still. And turn this around a moment so I can get it positioned right. And the die wants to move a little bit. Okay. Cut out. We can set this aside. I'm going to leave it open because I think I have to use it again. And tape and off of there. There we have her. Okay. So we're going to pop our dies up on black dimensionals. And then I'm going to come in with my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm going to pop the backings off of those dimensionals. Much easier than using fingernails. And don't look at my fingernails. I got pink, but I'm wearing orange, so we won't tell anybody that my colors are weird today. I wore pink yesterday when I had my nails done, so. Okay, so we're going to put that in the center. And then I'm going to put dimensionals at each end of the sentiment. And then I'm going to put some glue right in the center. The reason I did this is because it's popped up on here and I didn't want it sagging. So, and we're going to put a little glue in the center, like I said. And then we're going to pop off those backings. Oops. I rubbed my finger right through the glue. And we're going to place that matching up with the edges of our cardstock. And now we know where to position her at. So she's kind of standing on that. But we're just going to glue her directly down. We're not going to pop her up on dimensionals. So place her in the center of that. Okay, so that's the start of it. But then we've got to do the inside. So we're going to, I didn't keep a strip. Yeah. So the inside we're going to stamp You're Still a Spring Chicken. And we're going to do that using the black memento. And I'm going to stamp it right in the middle. Alright, it's a little bit crooked, but that's okay. I thought I had a... No. I want to get a strip and put it along the bottom. I think I did with mine. Yeah. We're going to cut a tiny strip of the Merry Merlot to have as a border at the bottom of our inside of our card. So let me get my paper trimmer out here. And I'll just take a little piece off of here. And probably, oh, maybe 1/8 of an inch is plenty. Side. And we're going to glue that just to the bottom, kind of give it a little bit of color. And I'm just going to put a thin line of glue across there, and then we'll attach our strip there. And then I'm going to come back in with my scissors and I'm going to trim those off. I'm going to turn it over. And just snip them off. Now we can glue that to the inside of our card. And we're just going to keep a small border going around it. See, and that strip adds a little bit of something to it, so it kind of makes it pop more than just plain. So now we're going to add some matte black dots. Take your pick tool again. And I'm going to use the putty end of it. And we're going to get the medium-sized dots. I guess those are small ones. Yeah, these are small ones. And we're going to place, whoops, that one fell off my thing. I'm going to put two there, and then I'm going to come down and put another one on our sentiment. These out of the way. So here we have our happy birthday, you're still a spring chicken card. Hope y'all like that. You could put some Wink of Stella on her. I think I had put a little bit on her crown and her wattle, I think. And probably a little bit on her beak. Kind of brings out the color a little bit. Plus it gives it a little bit of bling. I don't think you can see that on the camera. But... okay, so there's our first card. Let me clean up my things here. Make some room for our next one. Set those in there for now. My arm is reaching across the screen. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. Probably doesn't look very good. Oh, I forgot to put her bow on there. She's got a bow. I made a bow using the linen thread. We need to attach that on there first. Jumping the gun here. Bring it back. I'm going to use my glue dots. And you take your pick tool to get one of those off. And then I'm going to kind of roll it in a ball. And I'm going to place it on the left side of the sentiment. And place our bow right there. There. Okay, now she's finished and looking better. Almost forgot that until I seen it laying here when I was cleaning up. It's a good thing I was cleaning up stuff. This is the linen thread. Okay, I've got early espresso ink on my fingers. Maybe that stamped image wasn't dry yet. Okay, so next we have got a sympathy card, which we don't like to have, but we do need them occasionally, sometimes more often than what we want to talk about. But it's easier if we make them ahead of time and have them on hand when we need them, instead of having to do it at the time. So it says, "So sorry for your loss. My thoughts are with you." So this is using the prize Peony set, the stamp set, and the Peony dies. And I'm also using the Stitch So Sweetly dies. This one is staying in the catalog. It's not retiring, so I'm glad of that. So we're going to be using one of the dies out of there. So let me get all my bits and pieces out here. Kind of move some things around a little bit. Okay, this is the die that we're going to be using that comes out of that Stitch So Sweetly. I think it's a larger frame. Okay, my instructions are right there. Okay, and this is the paper that we're going to be using. All of our designer series paper that's in our annual catalog is also retiring, so I'm trying to show a little bit of it before it's gone. We're going to be using this one here and this one here, and that's called the Peony Garden Designer Series paper. Okay, so let's get started here. With this one, I'm using the basic gray cardstock, and it measures 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches, and then it's scored in the middle at 5 1/2 inches. And we're just going to burnish that edge. And then this one measures 4 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches. And this is out of that designer series paper, and this is on the back side, which is very pretty too. So we're not going to glue that to our card base yet because we're going to add a ribbon to it before we glue it down. So let's start with our stamped images. First off, we're going to, for the inside, this is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. We're going to set that aside, and I need my scrap of white, basic white, and we're going to stamp our large peony on there. And I'm going to be using just the black memento ink. And I'm going to let it sit there for a moment to get a good impression. Okay, that looks pretty good. And sorry for the noise. I need to cut this down a little bit so it'll fit through my mini girl, my baby boss. But first we're going to color that with our blends. And the blends that I'm using, I'm going to be using the Petal Pink, the light and the dark, and the Granny Apple Green, both light and dark. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Bring my scrap paper over here, put underneath. And I'm going to start out with the dark Petal Pink, and we're going to do some shading in there. So I'm just doing the parts that are stamped with the dark. And then we'll come back in with the light and fill it in. It squeaks a little bit on the paper. Okay, I want to get all the darker areas. I think I got them all. So we'll come back in with our, we've got to remember our bud over here. Do the same. And with your blends, be sure that you snap them all the way shut so that they don't dry out on you. I've had that happen to a couple already. Got to use a little bit of muscle, I guess. I guess I didn't. And I'm going to go around the edges, and then I'm going to come back in with the other end that's a thicker, so we can get this done faster. Switch ends here. I like to use the bullet end, and I've got smaller spots that I have to color. I can control it easier than I can with the large end. The large end is good for doing a large area. Okay. Okay, so let's come back in with our Granny Apple Green. We're going to start with the dark. And I'm just going to do the same with that. I'm going to do a little bit of shading. So I'm excited about next week. I'll be able to show you some projects using some of the new sets from the new catalog. I guess I need to get busy and get some samples made up. Seems like we're always busy. I don't know doing what, but we are. Seems like there's never enough hours in the day or something. One more right there. Okay, now I'm going to come in with the light. And I'm going to shade those all in. I need to get with my girls and see how they feel about starting up classes again. Maybe in June we can maybe think about. I miss seeing everybody. I guess if we've all had our COVID shots, we should be fine. I've had mine. Yeah. Okay, I think I've got everything colored. All right, now we're going to bring our baby boss back in. Yeah, Sharon, I'm ready too. Let me know what y'all think about it, and I'll start getting ready for it maybe. Okay, I need my dye. And we're going to line that up. I think I'm going to use the washi tape again to make it be still. I maybe had too much coffee this morning. And got this backwards. Let me turn it around here. I'm doing a left-handed today. And it's sliding all over on my paper. Hang on, let me move that. Just throw the bits and pieces on the floor. We'll sweep them up later. Okay, so there we have our flower cutouts. And I'll just put that in there for now. Okay, and then I have already cut out the petal pink paper. Looks like it's splattered, and it measures about 1.5 inches by 4 inches. And I use this border die to cut the edge, which is in the same die set with the Peony dies. And I just cut to make it pretty. But I'm going to do some stamping on this first. And I didn't get that stamp set out, so let me get that set up. And it's got some little squigglies. I don't know. Let me just use the back of this one. We'll share a stamp set with it. And I'm going to use the basic gray stamp set, or stamps, I mean, ink, ink pad. Words are hard today or something. Okay, so we're just going to stamp those randomly. Okay. And then I'm going to come in with my blending brush. And Stampin' Up! Sells the blending brushes too. You get 3 brushes for $12.99, I believe it is. And I'm going to use, I don't know if I want to go with the gray. I think I'm going to try, do I have petal pink? No. Just looking for a light pink that I want to use. I guess I'm just going to use the gray. And you want to start off on your paper to knock off some of the ink and then just kind of blend it. It just kind of tones down the white a little bit. And maybe do the edges a little bit. Okay, I think that's good enough. I don't want a lot on there. I don't want it real dark. So now I'm going to attach this to the edge of it. So I'm just going to put a little bit of our Stampin' Seal on that side. Make sure I've got the right side. And then I can attach that. And just leave a little bitty edge of the ruffle. Make sure it's quite straight, like that. So now we're going to attach that to the front of our designer series paper. And I'm just going to use my liquid glue to put that down. I'm not popping this up because I'm going to put dimensionals on the flower. And we're going to center that on the front of our designer series paper. And I'm going to put it towards the top because I'm going to put a ribbon at the bottom. Okay, I think right there. And like I said, I'm going to put the flower up on dimensionals. And I'm just going to use my white dimensionals. I got a sheet here I can finish off before I open a new one. I might have just enough here. Yep, now that sheet's gone, so I can start a whole new sheet again. And then I'm going to take your pick tool. Oops, I tore that. Well, we're going to place it down anyway. Be careful how you pull. That section right there was really thin, I guess, and it tore it right off. But we're going to fix it. I don't want to start all over. We're going to make it work. And we're going to center this out there. Well, I forgot to leave a space to stamp our sentiment there, but let me get this on here first. There, you can't even tell. So our sentiment is "So sorry for your loss," and we're going to use our basic gray ink again and ink that up. And then we're going to stamp that right in a bare spot right there. Okay, like that. All right, now we've got our ribbon that we're using today is the shimmer ribbon. It's the gray granite. And yeah, I thought I'd cut it in here. So our ribbon, we're going to just put some tape on the back side. So I'm going to use my seal to attach that. Put a small strip on each side. You can use Scotch tape too. I thought it'd be a little bit different today. Just go around and attach that. And make sure I'm sitting straight. And the excess here I'm going to cut off because that's going to be our faux bow on the front. But I'm going to go ahead and attach that to our card base first. Get my scrap paper out of there. And make sure you've got it opening right. I have put them on upside down before. And I think I want this side instead. And it's just a tiny, tiny border going around. Alright, and we're going to take this scrap here of ribbon and we're going to just tie that onto our other ribbon. And I've got fumble fingers this morning. My fingers just aren't cooperating. And we're just going to pull that and make a bow. And I'm going to trim up my tails. I like it to be at an angle. This one's pretty good. I'm going to angle it a little bit more. Okay, like so. And then we're going to add some elegant faceted gems to the front of it. We're going to use our take your pick tool again. And we're going to add some of these to it. So put one there. Another one there. I got a bitty hair there. And another one to maybe the top here, corner. So let's do the inside of our card. I got another strip of that paper that I've cut out using that same die, and that's going to attach to the side of our inside, which measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And I'm just going to run a thin line of glue on the left side. And I'm going to do the same. I'm going to turn it over and we're going to trim that off. I've got an open ink pad over here I need to close before I stick something into it. Okay. And now we're going to stamp our sentiment on the inside. And the sentiment that I'm using on the inside comes from, oh, where did it go? Well, I have lost a stamp set. Okay, I guess that comes from that same one. I'm thinking of another card that I'm doing that comes from a different stamp set. So I need to open that ink again. And we're going to stamp that in the upper center. Oh, and that's very crooked, but we're going to go with it. I like it crooked. It's different. And we're going to put our glue on there and put it inside of our card. Make sure I have the right side going up and down. Okay. So here's our sympathy card. So sorry for your loss. And my thoughts are with you. Okay, so let me clean up here again. But first, I have the envelope flap we're going to decorate. And I'm going to use the opposite side with the flowers on it for our flap. So all we do is we put some glue around our flap. And place our piece of designer series paper on top. And then we turn it around and we trim it. Hi Amber, no that's fine, you can go back and watch the replay when we're finished if you'd like. And like I say, better late than never. And be sure that you like and share the video also. I will be posting it onto YouTube later today. So if you're watching it on YouTube, be sure that you hit that subscribe button and you'll be notified of any new videos that I put on. I try to do one a week, so. Okay, so here's our flap for our card. Let me pick up my things here. Set them aside. Excuse my arms reaching over. Make a little bit of room here. Okay, so our third and final card is going to be using the sunflowers. So what's everybody drinking today? I need to take a sip of water here. Talking to myself makes you thirsty. Okay, so here's our third card. Thanks a bunch. And the inside, with all my heart. So we're using the Celebrate Sunflowers stamp set. This one is going to be in the new catalog. And then we're using the Sentiment out of Grace's Garden, which this one and the dies are retiring. So I'm kind of sad because I hadn't really done a whole lot with Grace's Kitchen or Grace's Garden. I like it. I don't know why I just hadn't got to using it very much. Yeah, Deborah, I love the sunflowers too. So let's go ahead and get started here. I'm also using the Designer Series paper, the Forever Greenery DSP, and this also is retiring. It's very pretty. And these are the dies that are with the sunflower. Maybe you can see them in there. Okay, so let me get all of our bits and pieces out here and my instructions. I need another sip of water. Hold on a second. I feel like I'm getting a tickle in my throat. Okay, so we're going to start out. We got our card base is Just Jade, and it measures 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, and it's scored in the middle at 4 1/4 inches. So we're going to burnish that. We'll set that aside for a moment. And then we've got our inside measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. So we're going to set that aside also, so we don't get it mixed up with our other ones. And then I've got soft sea foam, which is 3 1/2 inches by 5 1/2 inches. And then our Designer Series paper measures 3 inches by 5 1/2 inches. So we're going to go ahead and glue those two together. And here's the back side with the leaves. I love this paper too, it's very pretty. And we're just going to have a border on the top and the bottom. It'll match up on each side. I'll set that aside for a moment. And I have die cut already out of the Stitch So Sweetly, which is what do I have in here? Oh, it's right here. The Stitch So Sweetly. I use this die to cut them out with, and Stitch So Sweetly. But I did that ahead of time, so you won't have to watch me do that. There's 3 of those. And then we need 3 of the sunflowers. I've already stamped it, but we need to color it yet. And we're going to be using our blends. We're using, let me see, the Daffodil Delight, the Light and Dark, Mango Melody. What did I use the Mango Melody for? And it must have got put in there by mistake. So it's Daffodil Delight, the Light and the Dark. And then for the center of our flower, we're using the Dark and Light Soft Suede. And for the flowers, the leaves, we're using the Light and Dark Old Olive. So I have lost my paper. Here it is. We're going to do some coloring here with our blends. We're going to start out with our yellows. And I start out with the dark again. And we're just going to those in our flower petals to kind of highlight the darker spots. If you live locally here and you're watching this video, as I was saying, I was wanting to start up my in-person card classes again. If you'd be interested in doing something like that, if you're local, please get in touch with me and I'll give you the details. Let me get the other end here. I want to have control over it. Yeah, it's been way too long since we've gotten together. I'm glad that things are starting to open up a little bit. And one more. Make sure I got good coverage. Go over it again a little bit. Alright, now I'm going to do the center. I'm going to start out with the dark soft suede. And we're going to color around the edge. And a little bit in the center. And then I'm going to come back in with the light soft suede. We're going to blend all that together. Okay, and then our leaves with the old olives. We'll start with the dark and outline it a little bit. Okay, and then come back in with the light. I don't know, I don't think I've had any technical difficulties this morning with the internet. That's a good thing. I maybe need to knock on wood because I'm not finished yet. It could still happen. Alright, we're going to bring our baby boss back in and we're going to die cut the sunflower out. There's our plates. And need to get the die out. I'm using this one. And just match her up. I think I'm going to use that washi tape again just to keep it steady. I don't want to have to do another one because I mess it up. I've got to turn around this way. Over here, get out our die cut, put that in there so I don't lose it, Okay, now these we're going to put down our rectangles first. And I have put those up on dimensionals. I need to get out a new pack of dimensionals here. And that's my hubby on there. Thank you. You're supposed to be working. Be sure you share the video while you're doing this. Okay, so we're going to put dimensionals on the corners of these. So 4 in each one. And turn those over. Okay, and now I'm going to take your pick tool. Where did she go? I'm going to use her to pop those dimensionals off. That works better than fingernails. And I'm going to space them on the front of our designer series paper. Oops, I didn't get that one off. And I'm going to place this one over here. And I'm just going to gently put that down because I don't want it to stick down yet. I want to make sure I've got it where I want it. It looks like it might need to be moved over some, but I want to get my center one in there to see how much room I've got. Okay, yeah, I need to move it over some. I'm just looking to see if it's straight. Alright, now I can press them down. And I see I've got a little bit of a hangover here, so I'm going to turn this over and trim the edge. It's a little bit longer than my cardstock was, just a hair off of there. Okay, now we're going to get our sunflowers and we're going to place them onto our die cuts. But I'm just gluing them directly, but I'm going to just put a little bit of glue in the center because I want to kind of pop them up a little bit. And kind of put them towards the top because we're going to have a ribbon going across there. And with this too, I'll start with the outer ones first. And then we'll do the center one. Okay, and then we've got our ribbon. Which is our In Color 2020 to 2022 ribbon. And these still are not retiring. I mean, our colors aren't retiring, but our ribbon is retiring for some reason. I don't really understand that. So I'm going to cut that off. I'm not measuring, I'm just going to eyeball it. And that's going to go across there. And I'm going to come back in with some Scotch tape to fasten them on the back side. So let me put that one in place first, and then we'll come in here and make sure we're even. Okay, So this one I've got the leaf underneath it, but I want it on top of it, so I just popped it back over the top of it. And I've already tied a bow. So we're going to get our glue dots and we're going to attach that. And I want it right about there. So I'm going to put a couple on there to hold it down to make sure it doesn't come off. And place that on top. Alright, so we can put this on top of our card now. Oops. And this isn't popped up, it's just glued directly down to our card. And I'm going to put it towards the top because we're going to stamp our sentiment underneath our mat. So leave a bit of a space at the bottom. So the sentiment says thanks a bunch, and I'm going to use the black Memento ink. And stamp that at the bottom. Oh, and I actually got it straight. How about that? Okay, so let's work on the inside of our card. I should have another strip of paper. There it is. I've got another strip of the Designer Series paper, and this is probably about a 1/2 inch by 5 1/4 inches, and we're going to glue that to the bottom of our card, the inside of our card. And I just leave a little border at the bottom. And then we're going to get our scrap paper because we're going to stamp the flower on the inside. And I thought I had that out, but I don't. I'm going to use the large flower. So I need a large stamp here. Let me clean this off. Using my Simply Chamois. It looks like it's all dirty, but it's just stained from the inks. It is clean. And let's clean that off a little bit. You can get the Simply Chamois in my store also. All the items that I'm using today can be bought in my store. So be sure that you check that all out. And we're taking this one off because we're going to put this one on there. And we're using, this is a soft seafoam ink pad. Okay, and we're just going to come in here and we're just going to grab this one corner. And close this ink pad up. Okay, I like that. It's just an impression of the sunflower. They all don't have to be yellow, so then we're going to take our stamp set. Still missing that stamp set. Okay, it comes out of Grace's Garden. The sentiment for the inside, which is I'm using with all my heart. So it's thanks a bunch with all my heart. And we're going to use the black memento ink. And we're just going to stamp that on the right hand upper corner. And then we're going to put that inside of our card. Does the 11 o'clock time work for everybody? I think I might change to 11 o'clock on Monday mornings. Okay, I've got to, I wonder if I can move my sunflower over because it's kind of sticking off the edge too much. Okay. Yeah. I still got a little stick over yet. Try a little bit more. There we go. Same with this one. It's going to have to be moved. Because I wasn't paying attention when I was gluing these, that they have to fit in an envelope so they can't be sticking off too much. But it's an easy fix. Alright, now we have some gems. We did have some, no, they're right here in front of me. These are the 2020 to 2022 in color enamel dots, and these also will be staying in the catalog. I'm going to use the Just Jade little ones, and I'm going to put one right there, and one over here. I think I'll put one on each one. On my original I had put it down here, but I think I'm liking it better up there, so that's how we're going to do this one. And I need to trim off my ribbon. So again, I cut it at an angle. I think I'll leave this one. Well, let me cut that one off too. Kind of funky with one short and one long. Okay, that's better. So here we have, and you could also use some Wink Stella on the sunflowers if you wanted to. So there we have our 3 cards for today. I hope you enjoyed them. Let me bring them back out here so you can see everything. I'm going to slide everything out of the way a little bit. Okay, I'm going to keep it at 11 o'clock then. It works good for me too. I don't have to stress out so much getting ready. It gives me a little more time to enjoy my coffee in the morning. Okay, so here's our happy birthday chick. And here is our sympathy card using our prize peony. And then of course our sunflowers. Thanks a bunch. Let me make sure that those are in camera view good. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Thanks, Sharon. Yeah, I'm trying not to be so stressed out. I think starting a half hour later is probably the answer to all that. I feel better about it today. I don't feel like I'm so rushed and in a hurry, so I'm going to keep it at 11 o'clock on Monday morning, so I hope that works good for everybody. And I don't have any other news, I don't think, to go over, so I guess that's it. Be sure that you join me next Monday because that will be our new cards. Let me look at my calendar to make sure. which I have misplaced. Yeah, I think it is. I think, is it Friday's the last day of the month? So Monday will be May. And we get to show all the goodies that are in the catalog. Yeah, I'm trying to get my dates right. Where's my calendar? I gotta find my calendar here. It's bugging me. I just had it. Yeah, there it is. It's hiding underneath everything. Okay, my calendar. Yeah, Friday is the 30th, so Saturday will be the 1st of May. So my next Facebook Live will be Tuesday or Monday. Well, yeah, I can show it a day early. We're going to stick with Monday, and then Tuesday I may do a special catalog reveal. Well, no, let's do it Wednesday. Let's do it Wednesday morning at 11 o'clock. We'll do a catalog review of the new catalog, but I still do the Facebook Live on Monday at 11 o'clock, so that'll work for me. So I'm going to say goodbye for today, and everybody enjoy your day. Enjoy the sunshine today, and enjoy the warm temperatures today. It's supposed to hit 80, 81, something like that today. So I hope to get out in it and maybe do some walking maybe. So everybody have a good week, and we'll see you again next Monday at 11 o'clock. And then I'll see you next Wednesday at 11 o'clock, and we'll do a catalog review. Catalog review. And that'll be at 11 o'clock also. So, bye for now.